Oh yeah, the Amazon one. So if you didn't think the Instagram one was that bad, like you can make an argument that AI age verification isn't really that bad. Like sure, whatever, it is what it is. Amazon. Amazon shows off Alexa feature that mimics the voices of your dead relatives. Now, this tech is not new. Like, you've been able to go and recreate voices for quite a while. You may have heard this. I'll see if I can find it. There's a Joe Rogan AI voice video that's really, really good. Joe Rogan AI voice. Here it is. This was from 3 years ago, and it's gotten a lot
I've got them on a
better
strict
since
diet of
then.
bone broth and elk meat. These chimps will rip your balls off. God damn, it's impressive.
I'll go back to the start. It's about a chimp hockey team.
Friends, I've got something new to tell all of you. I've decided to sponsor a hockey team made up entirely of chimps. I'm tired of people telling me that chimps are not capable of kicking human ass in sports. Chimps are just superior athletes. And these chimps have been working out hard.
Like,
They're throwing kettle.
You can hear it's not this was 3 years ago, but you can hear it's not perfect. It sounds like a very like monotone reproduction of his voice.
Bells, battle ropes, everything. I've got them on a strict diet of bone broth.
But like you hear the voice and it sounds exactly like if you heard that, you just think like Joe is just having a bad day for the most part. So this is not like a new idea. The part that's new is making it really, really accessible to normal people and using it in like a really fucking weird way. Like this idea here, this isn't like a clickbait headline like, oh, look at this. You can recreate voices and use dead relatives. No, this is the way that Amazon marketed it. So they had a keynote called the Amazon Remars 2022. This was day 2 of the keynote.
One thing that
so go to YouTube. Here we go.
That surprised
in the background, it just says human-like empathy the entire time. Stop it. Like, stop it.
me the most about
we'll skip ahead to the actual ad. This is just him like rambling on about what the tech is.
Okay.
Here we go.
But how about my courage?
Oh wait, skip ahead, didn't I? Here we go.
Alexa, can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz?
Okay. But how about my courage? Asked the lion anxiously. You have plenty of courage, I am sure.
And the best part about this is the reaction the crowd has.
Confidence in yourself.
As you saw in this experience,
silence. Dead fucking silence. Nobody is cheering. Nobody is clapping. Nobody is booing. They're just like, well, that just happened. So, according to them, they can take a single minute of recorded audio and recreate the voice. I'm not going to doubt the fact that they can do that. In the age of abundant videos and voice notes, this means it's well within the average consumer's reach to clone the voices of loved ones or anyone else they like. Although this specific application is already controversial, with users on social media calling the feature creepy and a monstrosity, such AI voice mimicry has become increasingly common in recent years. Just because it's being common doesn't mean it's not also creepy and a monstrosity. These imitations are often known as audio deepfakes and already regularly used in industries like podcasting, film. Who's podcasting with a fake voice? Like, I know using, like, a voice filter, but who's podcasting with an audio deepfake? I'm gonna find this now. I have to see this. Podcast audio deepfake. There's no way there's someone doing a podcast like that. Okay, there are podcasts about this. Fair enough. This audio editing tool deepfaked my voice. Fair enough. I'm not seeing... I'm just seeing podcasts about this. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone actually, like, making a podcast with this voice. But you know what? It would be pretty cool. That seems like an idea. Maybe at some point, if I ever feel like, giving up and just not even bothering to make videos anymore, I will just feed it hours upon hours of my voice and then just write out scripts and have the videos made for me. Many audio recording suites, for example, offer users the option to clone individual voices from their recordings. That way, if a podcast host flubs her or his... Oh, I guess if you're repairing lines, fair enough. But usually you would just leave it in, because that's, like, unless you're trying to replicate the style of TV, most people just want podcasts to be a constant stream of thoughts, or like an actual human discussion. A human-like discussion, you might say. Human-like empathy. A sound engineer can edit what they've said similar to typing a new script. Replicating lines of seamless speech requires a lot of work, but very small edits can be made with a few clicks. The same technology has been used in film too. Last year, it was revealed that a documentary about the life of Chef Anthony Bourdain, who died in 2018, used AI to clone his voice in order to read quotes from emails he sent. Many fans were disgusted by the application's technology, calling it ghoulish and deceptive. Others defended the use of technology as similar or other reconstructions used in documentaries. I don't hate the idea of this tech existing. Like, there are absolutely cases where you can argue it being a thing. Let's say, for example, a star dies in the middle of a movie and you end up wanting to continue. You want to honor their, like, obviously you're going to make money from it. You want to make lots of money from it, but you also want to honor their legacy and not just cut them out of the film. You want to just at least finish off what you're doing. And maybe that's how the person would have wanted it to go. I think that's a reasonable application. Or in the case of, repairing voice lines, if you actively choose to go and do so with a podcast, which I don't think you should anyway. But if that's the way you want to manage your show, I think that's a fine application as well. What I don't think is a good idea, though, is making this very easily acceptable to regular people and then marketing it in this weird, how would you even describe it? This weird soulless corporate approach of dealing with dead family members. Like, this is probably not a healthy way to deal with a loved one dying. Like, I know that I've had people die as well. I know that you always, want to see that person again. You want to talk to that person again. But just having that voice there, especially when you're in that, grieving phase, that grieving phase, there's no way that's going to be healthy for that process. And I can only imagine this leads to, the further degeneration of society. And it's not going to be good. Because right now, it's just Amazon Alexa. And this is a introduction. It's not something that is fully widely available. There's going to come a point where there'll just be apps on your phone that will do exactly this, or when it actually does roll out, and then other devices start doing the same thing, and yeah, let alone the problem it's going to have with, dealing with, audio evidence, audio and video evidence, audio and video evidence. Audio is basically worthless as evidence at this point. Images have been worthless for years now. Especially, we definitely saw this in the Amber Heard case, where literally was faking evidence, and video's the same as well. You right now can find a deepfake porn of literally any famous person you want to see. And there was, when that tech first started coming out, that was the thing that everybody was first doing. We are entering an era where evidence is just, you cannot trust basically any form of evidence. Anything that we've traditionally thought of as a solid piece of this proved that someone did this, whether it's a robbery or a murder or anything else, we're getting to the point where you can't really trust that. And I think it's going to have to lead to a complete restructuring of the legal system. Because, obviously, testament is worthless as well, because people don't tend to remember stuff properly in a stressful situation. So give it, it's still early stage right now, but give it 5 or 10 years, and if evidence is still being trusted the way it is right now, you could literally pin anything on any person and it's going to look real, because I don't think right now there are ways to detect these aberrations in the content, especially in the voice case, because it is slightly off. In the image recreation case, definitely, especially with like weird hair. If you have like flowy hair, brighter hair colors, or lighter hair colors, sorry, it can be like it does look really weird, or it's windy and things like that. But it's only going to get better over time. Like, we're not going to hit a point where it's just we're going backwards, for example. Like, it might hit a point where it's not getting visually better, but this tech is never going to go backwards. So I am excited and terrified for the next couple of decades. And look, just don't get yourself in any situation where you could be in potential legal trouble, because, you know, you could just have someone plant evidence on you, and there's nothing that you could really do to prove otherwise, because they have evidence and you have evidence, but whose evidence is the fake evidence? Well, we have no idea how to prove that, and we're kind of fucked. Now let's move on to Australia also being kind of fucked.